You're tuned in to the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, guiding your gridiron journey, none other than your host, former NFL lineman, Ross Tucker.
Oh, yeah, it is. But it's not just any Ross Tucker Football Podcast. It is a Finish Strong Friday, presented, of course, by DraftKings. I'm Ross Tucker, former NFL offensive lineman. Most of you know that. 5 teams, 7 years, classic journeyman. Thoroughly enjoyed an awesome temp job in my 20s, despite getting fired as often as I did. That's okay. Love those of you that support the show in any way, so much so that before I give you my pick for every game, week number 4 in the NFL, or get into last night's game between the Lions and the Packers, I'm going to announce some winners because you guys are winners. People like Dave Shreve, I don't even know what we call it anymore. A quote tweet, a repost, a quote post, I don't even know, a quote X, whatever it is that you can do on the app formerly known as Twitter, where you quote tweet it and then you have your own comment. We love those, and it is a great chance for you to get reposted by us if you make a good comment on one of our videos. So love that. Thank you very much, Dave Shreve. Love Mike Solello. Got this one a couple weeks ago. Remember, if you take advantage of any of our sponsors, email it to me, ross@rosstucker.com. Michael Solello got the Raycon earbuds. I am a huge fan of the Raycon earbuds. Congratulations, Michael. Welcome to the Raycon earbud family. And let me know if you'd rather have a press pass or a signed picture or card. I'll mail that out to you. Should be able to get to a bunch of those on Sunday, by the way. And then the YouTube shout out, Cody Nevers, youtube.com/RossTuckerNFL. We're growing rapidly over there. Just make sure you hit the subscribe button and then comment on any video. Your comment can literally be, I just want a free shout out video for my wife or daughter or myself or my buddies from Ross. That can literally be your comment. That's all we're looking for. Shout out to Cody Nevers. Speaking of shout outs, I forgot to give a patron shout out yesterday with Greg. Kevin Thrower, patreon.com/RTmedia. Congrats, Kevin. Love that you're part of the family now on our private Tuckheads Slack channel. Only for you guys. Patreon.com/RTmedia. It's Big Show time.
The Big Show.
All right, Ross, we're getting to the picture this weekend. What did you think about last night's game, the Packers? They almost pulled off a comeback, but kind of some late penalties and some other things helped Detroit pull away, 34-20.
Well, I guess I would start with what I think is really bad news and a bummer, but altogether not that surprising, with the Packers putting all-pro left tackle David Bakhtiari on IR again. I guess he had a scope on Wednesday, which is the precursor to a bigger surgery with the idea of coming back to play in 2024. This has been like 3 or 4 years now. I don't expect to ever see him play again, although I've said that before. And he's come back to play a game or two here, a game or two there. I will say that there's some financial implications of him continuing to try to play. So I think that, could always be part of it as well. It's interesting, too, this game, Jack, because Jared Goff threw an interception on the third play of the game, but the Lions were able to hold Green Bay to a field goal. But still, you're thinking, oh, man, here we go, 3-0 Green Bay. After that, it was all Lions. I mean, Rasul Douglas was first beat by Laporta, and then Amon-Ra St. Brown for a touchdown. And I thought perhaps the most impressive part of the whole game, other than the Lions fans taking over the whole stadium, was the Lions O-line dominating. I mean, they were marching again for a touchdown. Then they marched again and got a field goal. Then my boy Alex Anzalone tipped the pass for another interception and a Montgomery touchdown. They were just better up front on both sides of the ball, and that's why I've been so high on the Lions team coming into the year. Credit to the Packers. Jordan Love was better in the second half. Obviously, they got the benefit of that big play with no time left on the clock in the third quarter. But that Quay Walker penalty was just crushing for the Packers to help the Lions get a touchdown, make it 34-17. At that point, it was pretty much over. So I know a lot of you considering maybe going to a college game tomorrow, maybe even a couple tonight. Maybe you want to go to that UConn-Utah State game I'm calling tomorrow at noon on CBS Sports Network. Or maybe you're looking to go to an NFL game. You're doing it wrong if you don't use the Game Time app. They've got killer last-minute deals, all-in prices. You can see the exact view from your seat. I don't know how they do that. I don't know how that technology works. And their best price guarantee. Basically, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code ROSS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but again, create an account and redeem code ROSS, R-O-S-S, for $20 off the already guaranteed lowest price. Download Game Time today. It's last-minute tickets, it's the lowest price, and it's guaranteed.
Want to know which team is going to win every single game on Sunday? Then listen up.
All right, Ross, we're headed back to London. We've got the Falcons and the Jaguars for an early morning game.
Man, kind of going back and forth on this one, Jack. This one's a tough one for me. I know Jacksonville is a little bit more accustomed to playing over there in London. I guess I'll give them the edge because of that. I just don't like what I've seen from them right now. We've talked on the Fantasy Feast podcast about the drops. They've got some O-line issues. I'll take Jacksonville. I don't feel real good about it. 20-17 Jaguars.
Next, we've got the game to watch this week. The Miami Dolphins are at the Buffalo Bills.
Such an awesome football game. So excited. Like, I hope it lives up to the hype. You know, I don't know how that works, Jack, in terms of, you know, the late game versus the 1 o'clock game, and if and when they're able to switch that. I thought they were able to switch those pretty seamlessly, but maybe they're locked in for like the first month of the season, or maybe they're not able to switch it that seamlessly, because this game should be, I mean, it's the game I'm most looking forward to. You?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I do think I remember seeing something like the flex takes place after week 4, if I remember correctly. So I think that's part of the reason.
But is it even flex if you just move a 1 o'clock game to 4:25 or vice versa? It's not like you're flexing to a night game or whatever.
I mean, I think it's any sort of flex, because you also have to think there's tickets and all different broadcast shifts. I think it's just an in general flex if you move it from any time to another.
Got it. Well, that is one that maybe if I get somebody from the NFL on, I'll ask them about that, because that is certainly something I'm curious about. So, man, I'm not feeling great about a lot of these games, Jack. I'm going to take the Bills. Dolphins are riding high. Everybody's talking about how great the Dolphins are. I just feel like the league has a way of humbling you a little bit. I don't think the Dolphins are going to overtake the 72 Dolphins and go undefeated. I think they're going to lose a game or two, maybe more than that. And this would be one of the games they would lose, right? Like at Buffalo, another really good team. So I like what I've seen from McDermott and the Bills defense, really all season, but especially the last couple weeks. So I think that they're going to have a pretty good plan for the Dolphins and slow them down. I think the Bills get this done. I do think there's a decent amount of points in the game. I'm going to say 24-23. And really, even though Tua is playing very well, I still have more faith in Josh Allen late than I do in Tua, you know, to make the big play to win the game. Although maybe you could argue Josh is also more likely to make the big mistake late and lose the game. I'll go Bills 24-23 in a fantastic game.
The Minnesota Vikings are at the Carolina Panthers.
The Minnesota Vikings. So, dude, I've been on teams like this multiple times. These teams are so desperate for that first win. I mean, they've been doing this since March, right? Like, the off-season program, then mini camp and OTAs, then you get to training camp, preseason games. Like, these guys are dying for a win. They're dying to be able to smile and celebrate and be happy and enjoy a victory. That's what you do this for. I mean, obviously the money, but that's what you do it for. I got to take the Vikings. I do like what I saw from Andy Dalton in the offense a little bit better last week, but I don't know. I mean, maybe Bryce Young plays. He's kind of been practicing. I feel like at least with the Vikings, I know what I'm getting on some level. I got more trust in Cousins and the Vikings offense than Carolina's offense. This would be a rough loss for Carolina again, but I think it's gonna happen. I'll take Minnesota. By the way, if the Vikings lose this one, they got some real decisions to make as far as it relates to Cousins and some of their options. But I will take the Vikings to win this one. I do think Carolina's defense has been pretty good, but they weren't great against Seattle. So I'll go 24-20 Minnesota.
Next I think is actually the game of the week, the Denver Broncos at the Chicago Bears.
You know what I like, Jack? And people can't see it unless they're watching us on DK Network. By the way, this show now, for those of you that have these, this show is not only on youtube.com/RossTuckerNFL, but you can watch it over at DraftKings, but it's also on Samsung TV Plus. It's on Roku. It's on Xumo. I think we're prime time, right, Jack? 7, 8 p.m.?
That is correct, yeah. 7, 8.
So if you have any of those, I think they call them fast channels. If you have any of those, you can watch us in prime time. Look, Mom, I'm on TV. Prime time, 7 to 8 p.m. each time. Anyway, the reason why I brought that up is because I love when Jack thinks he said something clever or funny, and seeing him smirk or the smile on his face when he says it, it's really enjoyable. It's really how much thought did you put into that line about what I think is really the game of the week, Bears and Broncos?
I honestly didn't. With the recaps, I'll think of it ahead of time, but here, I'll just copy and paste the list of the games, and I'll just see it as I'm going along and just try to think of something. The recaps is where I put some real thought into it.
Oh, okay. Well, I like that you're putting some real thought into your job. That's nice. Man, I'm going Broncos. The Broncos, I've at least seen some positive things and signs of life from the offense. For the Bears, there's been nothing. There's no signs of life. They look dead. They don't look like they want to be there. They don't look like it's one of those games. I guess somebody has to win. Also, somebody has to lose. You know what? It'd be fitting if there was a tie. But no, I definitely feel better about Russell Wilson and how he's played than I do about Justin Fields. Give me the Broncos on the road to get Sean Payton's first win. I'll go 24-17. They win, by a full touchdown, I guess. And you can finally celebrate in Denver. Don't drink that other beer they got out there. Drink Labatt Blue Lights. Whether it's with your friends or family, if you want to take things to the next level, you want to celebrate a Broncos win, live life to the power of we with Labatt Blue Light. Always enjoy responsibly. Beer, Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York.
Next, we've got divisional battle. The Ravens are at the Browns.
Another really important game. This is another game that, could have been one of the showcase games. Boy, this is a pretty big swing game, Jack. There's a big difference between being 3-1, 2-2. 3-1, you got to lose 2 games in a row to be 500. 2-2, you are 500. And you got to win 2 games in a row to be 2 games above 500. It just feels like a pretty big swing game in this one. I've kind of gone back and forth a little bit on this one, but I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going to go with the Browns. I like the way they've been playing on defense in particular. The Ravens kind of struggled offensively last week against the Colts. Watson coming off his best game. The game's in Cleveland. Give me Cleveland 23-16 over Baltimore.
Next is the Steelers. They're at the Houston Texans.
I think you got to go Steelers. I know the Texans won the game against the Jacksonville Jaguars on the road, and they kind of have the Jaguars' number for whatever reason, and kudos to them for having their number. But no, I'm taking the Steelers. I'm not ready to have C.J. Stroud and the Texans, especially with how banged up they've been, winning back-to-back games against teams that have a pretty good chance to have winning records. Give me the Steelers on the road, ruining J.J. Watt's big day as he goes into the Ring of Honor or whatever there in Houston. Steelers, I still don't have that much faith in the Texans' D. Steelers 24, Texans 21.
Next, we've got the Rams. They're traveling to Indy to face the Colts.
Man, Colts really have a good opportunity to go 3-1, don't they? It's pretty wild when you think about it. I kind of like the Rams in this one. I have a feeling, I don't like that it's a short week and they played Monday night and whatever, but I just kind of feel like, here's how I look at it. And maybe this isn't like the best X's and O's breakdown you've ever heard. I just think it's more likely after this game that they're both 2-2 and the Colts are 3-1 and the Rams are 1-3. I just think that's the way the NFL works. And so Ross Tucker, shall be taking the Rams to win this game happily ever after. No, I also like the way Stafford's played. Do we know, Jack, yet if it's going to be Anthony Richardson or Gardner Minshew?
I think they said Richardson's practicing. I've got him started in my fantasy lineup, so I hope he plays.
Yeah. That makes me think even more, I think, the Rams a little bit with Richardson coming out of the protocol, and I don't know, he missed a game. I don't know. I think he'll be a little bit rusty early. I'll take the Rams and Stafford, and I think they'll win the game. I don't know they're going to put up a ton of points. I don't really think the Colts are either. Probably like 24-20 Rams.
Next is another divisional matchup, the Bucs. They're facing the Saints.
A pair of 2-1 teams. You're going to be feeling real good about yourself. The Saints still should have won that Packers game, man. That was a big blow. You're going to be feeling pretty good about yourself if you get this win. It'll be, I don't care what Derek Carr says. I'd be shocked if he played in this game. Very, very surprised. I think it'll be Jameis Winston revenge game, as they say. I don't know. I feel like the Bucs, they played Monday night. They got physically beat up. Typically, I would take them against Jameis and a backup quarterback, but I actually think Jameis will play pretty well in the game. I'm going to take the home team. It'll be loud. They'll be physical. And the Bucs got beat up. I'll take the Saints 23-16 over the Bucs.
Next, we've got the Washington Commanders. They're at the Philadelphia Eagles.
I like the Eagles quite a bit in this one. I think this is a poor matchup for the Commanders with their offensive line against the Eagles' defensive line. I don't think they'll be able to run it very well. I think Hal will be under duress. Could be 2 bad games in a row for Hal. I'd be really surprised if the Commanders won this game. I'll go 27-13 Eagles, and this would be a good one probably to lock up, Jack.
Your survivor / knockout / whatever you call it, pick of the week.
Cincinnati Bengals. They're at the Tennessee Titans.
Right. And when you get Tennessee, have you ever gotten hot chicken?
I think I've had I've never had like Nashville hot chicken, like an actual like good one. No.
I don't know that I have either. I mean, I've been down there a bunch, and everybody always talks about the hot chicken. I don't know that I have. I think I might be down there in a couple weeks for a college game. I gotta go out of my way to get some hot chicken. Speaking of that, by the way, did the game go to timeout? It's time to order on DoorDash. Wait, is it halftime? That's ordering time. 2-minute warning? You got it. That is your cue to order in. Get everything you want delivered while you root for your squad. Yeah, that means burgers, fries, drinks, you name it. And if you have a Dash Pass membership, you can get the new Wendy's loaded nacho cheeseburger delivered. Yeah, right now, the loaded nacho cheeseburger is exclusively available with Dash Pass at participating U.S. Wendy's for a limited time. I didn't actually talk about the game, did I?
I was gonna say, yeah, I was waiting. You didn't pick a winner.
Were you about to move on?
No, I was waiting. I was waiting to see if you were gonna remember or not, because we've done this before.
That's why you're my producer. You got to tell me if I totally blank out because I'm talking about food and DoorDash. You got to bring me back to earth with the Bengals and the Titans. Whew, man. I'm going to take the Bengals. I don't know, though. I guess this is just on the faith of Burrow, and they got Jamar Chase going. The Titans' pass defense is bad. And I think Burrow, he got through the last game okay. So I'm thinking hopefully he'll be even better this game from a health standpoint. But this is like a true toss-up. I say this every week with the Titans, but it feels like a field goal game. I'll go 20-17 Bengals. Could easily flip that and make it 20-17 in favor of the Titans.
We got the somebody's got to win this game bowl. The Raiders are at the Chargers.
Well, I'll go Chargers. Now, it's basically a home crowd for the Raiders. There's more Raiders fans in LA than there are Chargers and Rams. It's kind of remarkable. But Jimmy Garoppolo's thrown a lot of picks. Jimmy's been in the concussion protocol all week. Herbert, I like him. They are playing at home, even if there's not a big crowd. I think the Chargers get 2 in a row here. I think the Raiders are kind of in disarray already. I don't get a good vibe from the Raiders at all. I think the Chargers win maybe a little bit more convincingly than you would think. 27-16. I got the Chargers winning by double digits, 2 scores.
Next, we've got another Tucker Bowl. We got the Patriots at the Cowboys.
I love Tucker Bowls. It actually sounds delicious. That sounds like if you go to like a poke place or like Chipotle and you go and like you can get a Tucker Bowl, which is carnitas and barbacoa, double meat, guac. I might have to eat it. I might have to go to Chipotle for lunch today. It's in my head. It's in my head. In my head. You don't even know that song, do you?
I do know that. I don't know the name of the song, but like I've heard that like part before.
Cranberries, Zombie. That was like the 90s, bro. Anyway, I'll take the Cowboys. I wouldn't be shocked if the Patriots win, especially after what Greg said about Deron Bland. I just don't think the Patriots have the right guys to attack Deron Bland. Cowboys can't lose 2 at home. 2 in a row and at home. Can they? No. Cowboys, the Patriots defense is good, though. So Cowboys 23-20.
Cardinals, they're at the 49ers.
Niners, probably a good one to lock up. Niners are awesome. Cardinals, I don't really envision them winning back-to-back games. That would be crazy impressive. Niners 24, Cardinals 13. By the way, we're going to the fourth quarter of this show, Jack. And in football, the fourth quarter is where the magic happens. It's where games are won, where champions are made. And in business, it's where sales teams become legends. That's why HubSpot built Sales Hub to give sales reps the deal-making tools they need to win their Q4. Sales Hub's prospecting workspace organizes your schedule, goals, and to-do list in one place to save your team precious fourth quarter time. And Smart Sequences help sales reps close deals faster than ever. So get ready to dominate Q4 with Sales Hub. Learn more at HubSpot.com/sales.
Did you give a score there on that one? I know you were kind of...
For what game?
Cardinals, 49ers.
Did I not say 24-13? I thought I did. 24-13.
I might have missed. Chiefs, Jets.
Yeah, Chiefs, survivor pool them, lock them up. I have no faith whatsoever that the Jets could win this game. I'll go Chiefs 23, Jets 10.
And we'll wrap up. We got the Seahawks at the Giants.
I like the Seahawks. Don't like what I've seen from the Giants. And they have had extra time to prepare, extra time to heal. You'd think they'd have a pretty good game plan for them, but I don't know. I think the Seahawks are a playoff team. I don't like what I've seen from the Giants so far this year. Give me the Seattle Seahawks to win the game. 24-20. I'll have the Giants score 20 points. 24-20. Other than that, I think we're done here.
Thanks for tuning in to the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. Make sure to also check out Even Money, Fantasy Feast, and College Draft, all on the DraftKings Network, YouTube, or subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform.
Shout outs, myfrontpagestory.com. Some of you guys still haven't gone and checked that site out. I don't really understand why. It's myfrontpagestory.com. Check it out for me. It's as a favor. Backofficescheduler.com. Go-Bengals.com, SteakhouseSports.com, HumanHeadNYC.com, Sporticulture, or Pizza Boy Brewing.